should probably have most everything done by then.
Okay.
We're on.
We're on. Okay. Call this meeting to order. Join me at the pledge. Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join Commissioner Kirshner in prayer.
Okay, Heavenly Father, we thank you for another beautiful day. We ask in a special way today that you look over all those workers as Labor Day is celebrated. We ask that you give us the wisdom to do what is your will as we represent those that put us in office. And we ask, as always, in a special way, for you to look over those folks who are defending our freedoms and their families. We ask all this through your Son. Amen. Amen.
Roll call.
Commissioner Thomas?
Here.
Commissioner Kirshner?
Here.
Commissioner Ferguson?
Here. I'll accept a motion to approve the digital audio video recording of the previous board session from Thursday, August 22nd, 2019.
So moved.
Second. Roll call.
Commissioner Ferguson?
Yes.
Commissioner Kirshner?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas?
Yes. Okay, adjustments. The only thing I'd like to move Ken up so that we can get him off to saving lives, which is what he does. So I think he has a new old employee to introduce, so I'll give him the floor.
All right. Well, thanks for having us. Well, I came here today to introduce Mike Logan, who probably doesn't need a lot of introduction. Mike's been a paramedic with us since 2010 and a long time before that. When I first moved here, Mike was one of my mentors at Tiffin, and he's been a paramedic since 1987. He's a 20-year retiree from the Ohio National Guard with deployments to Iraq as a senior non-commissioned officer paramedic. Mike brings a lot of experience and a lot of leadership and mentorship to our system. And as you guys know, our echo paramedic, that's the kind of traits that we look for in our full-time paramedics to lead the way out there in the field. So with that, I'll give the floor to Mike and let him introduce himself and answer any questions you have of him.
Thank you, sir. That was really nice. I appreciate the opportunity to serve. I just retired from the Tiffin Fire Department. Excuse me. I spent 32 years there, and I look forward to serving the community in this capacity as well. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Welcome.
Yeah,
Welcome.
thanks for all you have done.
Thank you.
Always love to have people who run into burning buildings here.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Well, thank you for doing it for 32 years. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate
Welcome
it.
aboard.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, we're excited.
We're glad to have you.
I can either reset his now or.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a resolution. What we're going to do is amend the board's orders of June 15, 2010, Journal 85, page 486, for hiring Mike Logan as the intermittent paramedic, changing him now to a full-time EMS paramedic response unit effective August 31st, 2019.
I would accept the motion.
Move for approval.
Second, any discussion? Great. Roll call.
Commissioner Ferguson?
Yes.
Commissioner Kirshner?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas?
Yes. Unanimously approved.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
If you
you.
guys don't have anything further for us, we'll get out of
Okay,
here.
how many echo, just refresh my memory.
Okay.
How many echo
We have,
part-timers do you have now?
we have 11 part-time paramedics and we have 3 full-time paramedics. In the future, I'm going to add one more to replace the position that Mike is
How many,
liberating to go
okay.
full-time.
Is he one of the 3?
He's one of the 3 full-timers
Okay.
now. He was one of the part-timers because he was full-time at the city of Tiffin. Since his retirement, we brought him on full-time. We're going to bring another one, another paramedic online as a part-timer. Not a lot of part-time hours available because the full-timers work most of them. We have about 24 hours to 32 hours a week of part-time availability. And with 10, 11 people, that makes scheduling a little easier because everybody's got busy lives. This time of year, we're very busy, and it's been a little challenging covering through the summer, but with our part-timers, that's how we cover the open shifts. Because the way the paramedics work, they work 24-hour on, 20 and 48 hours off, so 24 to 48. Then every third week, they get an extra day off to avoid a lot of the overtime costs that are associated if we just continue to do that. So the part-timers help us save money and also still be very effective. And having that many people available in a true emergency when something disastrous might happen, we can have people that we can call. And that's kind of the way our program was developed.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
We'll get out
Thank
of
you.
here.
Congratulations, Mike.
Thank you.
All right. I think if you don't mind, we'll move to our guests. Highbridge.
Thank you.
I think we've met before, but would you have a few words you'd like to say?
Of course, thank you, Commissioner.
And just introduce yourself for the posterity.
Absolutely. My name is Mike Ditto, one of the three additional partners at Highbridge Consulting in Columbus. We are a government relations firm that has specialized in lobbying and PR and campaigns and a lot of work throughout the state of Ohio. One of my business partners, Ray Yonkura, is here with us today, and we're interested in continuing a conversation with the County Commission about doing some work throughout the capital budget and possibly beyond to help you kind of serve as an additional liaison in your state government services. So I used to work in the Ohio House for about 15 years, leaving there as Chief of Staff, but was also Communications Director and a Policy Advisor, working for 5 different speakers during my time there. Ray is the former Chief of Staff to Congressman Jim Jordan. So we're looking forward to building a good partnership with the Commission over the next 6 months or so and see how we can help out this great county. So thank you for the opportunity.
Good.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
So we have a scope of work and proposal from Highbridge, and have you guys had a chance to review it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to move forward on that today?
Do you want to read, do we have any specifics of the contract that we need to talk about, or do we need to just approve the?
I think each of you had a chance to review them, so unless anything specific, any terms or specifics,
Why don't you talk about the length and the monthly cost?
I think we did this, September 1st, March 31st, 2020. But we do have 30-day written notice, $2,500 a month. I think that's about.
Just to let everyone know, it's capital budget time. Every other year, the state does the operating budget and then the capital budget. 2020 would be the capital budget. We were fortunate enough in 2018, mostly through Representative Reineke, to get some significant dollars for the museum, WSOH, which is GeoCap over in Fremont at this point, the Education Center in Fostoria, Learning Center. And these are the kind of issues that come up. We will be concentrating on buildings and infrastructure improvement with these folks. And I do think that it's an excellent way to let Seneca County be represented specifically by a group that has some real good experience. So, having said that, I will move for approval of the contract.
Second. Any further discussion? The only thing I would say is, I checked the people that I knew in Columbus, and the one word that kept coming back specifically about Mike Ditto was integrity. So that's a valuable quality. So I appreciate that we were able to cooperate with you here.
Thank you. And over I go, Ray's got a lot of integrity too, so we don't want to leave it alone, right?
I was just checking Ditto. I wasn't going to check this guy.
I'll vouch for Ray, too.
John Kerr was in Washington. We don't even
Yeah.
want to
I've showered well since.
know. Yeah.
I recognized you, Ray, from Congressman Jordan's office, but I didn't quite know I got it. Yeah.
All right, roll call.
Commissioner Teresa?
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner?
Yes.
Commissioner Catlett?
Yes. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll get a scope of work as far as scheduling. The important thing for us is to nail down our priorities. I know, talking to Rep. Reineke, he wants projects that are collaborative across jurisdictions line, private-public partnerships, all these types of things. And a number of things jump to my mind. I'll ask you both to come up with a list. I mean, we've got Court Street, we've got joint parking, we've got the connector trail, we've got the health department entrance. We've got some projects that are very close to being ready. They just need cash.
We will do our best.
So we're looking for a return on investment.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You guys don't need to stick around. We don't have any fun planned that I know of, but.
Thank you. Appreciate it very much.
It's good. Administrator report.
Just a couple things. Reminder that Monday, Labor Day, our office is closed. Next Thursday, we have agreed to have our work session at 9:30 to meet with Gossman to get an update on our building's master plan. So we'll be starting at 9:30. Regular meeting starting at 10. Kylie and I went down to Columbus on Friday for the Corsa's annual report, which I have. I'm going to set it out on the table for you guys to review. Very interesting. This year they had kind of a different motivational speaker that Kylie and I enjoy very much, talking about the millennials, Gen X, Gen Z, some of the different things. I think I sent it to you guys just as a review. Not a lot of those, inspire. But
You had to
it
do a
was
whole
really
session
good.
on supervising Jimmy?
Yes, yes.
Those darn millennials.
Why is so challenging?
Takes a lot more than one session for that.
It's a series.
They're going back next week.
So it was very good. We had a good report from Corsa. So I think this was the first year of the new director, actually John Brownlee. He was our risk assessment guy for years, and with Dave Brooks retiring, John Brownlee stepped in, so this was his first annual meeting, and I think it went really well. Dave Brooks was still there, so we got to see him again. So it was a good meeting, and there was a lot of commissioners. A lot of the older generation was down there, and so it was definitely a good
So-
presentation.
We are insured through a county consortium, and that's our insurance agency, of course, so.
Yeah, our local agent is United Insurance, usually Andy Steffi, and
Used to represent.
Yeah.
You know anything about insurance?
No.
Okay.
no.
You're on the committee.
Yeah.
Your chair.
You're chair of the committee.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Kylie and I also met with Tate Anderson from Maximus yesterday we're working on the new cost allocation plan, and I mentioned to him once we get some of the stuff finalized and a first draft in, if he would come in and kind of explain the procedures and processes of the cost allocation plan. I think, Mike, you might be the only one that actually seen him, and that might have been your first year.
Yeah.
Usually he just comes in, they do their work and give us the plan, but I thought it would be good with both of you to come in, so they're gonna, once he gets the draft ready, he'll come in.
It's an assessment of how much we should charge per square foot, how much we should charge for utilities and those kind of things for the electeds and the other appointed officials that we have, so.
And the big difference this year will be Justice Center calculating all of that, so
Right.
that'll be, we had a bunch of different, regional planning, board of elections, prosecutors, there were a lot of changes in square
It's
footage,
good, because it all ties into the building plans too, right?
Yep,
So if we have a cost allocation, for example, the OTB hospital, it may come to the point where we say, the maintenance and the utility fees don't make any sense. We need to do something different with that building.
right. The only other thing, I did, Mike, sat down with two different financial software firms, and they were very interesting. They were willing to come up and do some presentations. I told them Julie was willing to sit down and listen to those presentations. But
Good.
she's happy with FSI, but she is willing to be open to look at other software. So I was impressed with just the last one. I have one or two more to do, but the last one also has a broader spectrum, as in they do a whole document management system too, which that is on the scanning committee's, IT committee's side. We're actually doing some presentations on document managing next week. So it was kind of interesting that they do both, and it incorporates it in together, so all the financial management and the document management merges together, so it was
Yeah, we've
kind
talked
of
a long time, Tony, on IT committee about trying to not be paperless, but be as mindful as possible about scanning and you know, keeping those things. We have different levels of desire to get rid of paper. So we just need to convince everybody they need to get rid of it. You know, we've had lots of problems with storing documents in different places. I would say that without hesitance, that at least half of it shouldn't even be there. It should be scanned on a disk and out of here. So we continue to work towards that.
yeah. And it'd be best if we could find a company that could help with all of our needs
Yeah,
instead of
I agree.
everybody having their own segment and stuff, so. It's kind of interesting, some of these have their own citizens portals that can get in and search and look at public documents, which would then, you know, help, you know, decrease some of our public records requests that we have to go through and look at. We always provide them, you know, we're not always as fast as maybe we should be, but, you know, this could give the citizens the opportunity to just go in, log in, search the documents themselves, get all of our resolutions scanned and indexed, and
Somebody needs a marriage certificate or birth certificate now from 1972. Somebody's got to go out and dig through a box. It doesn't make any sense at all, right?
yeah. So that's all I had.
Cool. Commissioner Paradiso?
No report, no?
Commissioner
No
Kirkman?
report, forward and onward.
I've got just a couple things. Commissioner Kirschner had asked about doing a letter of support for some of the work that Reinke's doing on local control of wind. And so just trying to get that dialed in. I just took a stab at drafting it, and I'd just like to give it to both of you
Sure.
to look at, and then, you know, we can have a discussion about it next week, or we can,
That referendum is in its final form. We probably will have it before the day's out. I talked to Representative Reinke this morning.
okay,
I think that the main issue here, from my standpoint at least, would be to get it to the state reps who are involved in this, and also the senators, to let them know that we are specifically in favor and support Mr. Reinke's attempt at a referendum initiative.
yeah. Yeah, I left it a little bit more general, just to recommend that we have an effort to return local control, because clearly the AEZ was intended to be local control, and it's clear now that, you know, given activity in Huron County and continued activity in Seneca County without an AEZ, that it isn't local control. So we have to make that narrative very clear at the state. If they think we have local control, we do not. So take a look at this draft. Totally open to whatever modifications.
So
I
is
think
this
it's-
something the three of us would agree to?
Yeah.
I think it's more important.
Come from the commissioners?
Yeah, if we're 3-0 on this, then that's a good,
That's good. Yeah.
good message.
Okay.
The other thing that I wanted to mention is the September 19th, Tony, Mike, I know you're aware of this, you always attend Township Association meeting, and it's in Clinton Township, so are you handling RSVPs for us,
I
or?
already sent your guys' in, I don't think Tony was.
Okay, just as long as he's aware of it, that's fine. Had a
Once I
meeting
get
with.
my shirt, then I'll be up.
Yeah, if you get your shirt, then you
Did
can
you
go.
order 'em yet? Try it out,
We're working on the
Bob.
logo.
So now we got.
I could order him one like you guys have, but we're trying to get the logo on
So
it.
now he's gonna have different shirts
I'm
tonight.
No, we're gonna get all the new shirts.
Okay.
Not a taxpayer expense.
Not a
Oh, here we go again.
Vicky. We have the health department lease coming up, and so sat down with Beth, talked a little bit about what her needs are going forward and what her ability to pay is, for those who don't know, the health department isn't an agency of the county, it's a joint health district, so it's City of Fostoria, City of Tiffin, townships, villages, everybody's a member of the joint. We provide the housing and in a way, a de facto subsidy by the work that we've done at the building. We've used CDBG money there and whatnot before. So we do have some actual expenses there at the health department, and so it's a matter of what percentage of those expenses we want to recover. So I've asked Stacy to track down what our actual expenses are, and then we'll have to bring it in here and have the conversation. I think it's valuable to have the health department downtown. I would really like to see their entrance be more ADA accessible.
Yeah.
So we've hired an architect. This has been on Mike's radar screen for a while. So get some ideas about that. So we might tie it all together. They're utilizing all their space essentially, except for one piece, which is the dental clinic, which kind of is like right behind the wall at regional planning. So we may want to take a look if we want to claim that space back, but that's all I have there.
So we have, great handicap access to all our buildings except the health department where we need it. Right?
There's a ramp there. They can get in, it's
Yeah.
just a little steep.
Pregnant mothers, everything, yeah. So it's something. And then I have a couple proclamations
Should we
here.
put that on our list? I see they're writing it down back there. Grant.
Yeah. And that's a cooperative effort with,
Yeah, send us a check for a ramp for the health department, will you?
You can do good while doing well. A couple proclamations for this week. We have Prostate Awareness Month, and so we will be declaring Prostate Awareness Month. And 5340 new cases of prostate cancer will be diagnosed. 1,100 deaths will occur in 2019. So we certainly, our heart goes out to those folks, and we want to raise awareness. And if you're able to do something to raise awareness, that would be excellent. And then on September 5th, the universities are having their Welcome to the World Day. And an interesting statistic is that we get 250 students, international students, in Seneca County. And so we want to welcome them to that downtown. So I'll be delivering a proclamation to that group, and Joe Moore heads that up. And it's Seneca County welcomes the World Day, September 5th, 2019, and we have 250 international students here, so we are a very cosmopolitan place.
Hey, actually, if we had, I don't know which parade it was, it must have been Labor Day. They had basically a representation of all, I think there were over 50 countries represented.
Wow.
I remember, with their flags, et cetera. So it's a neat celebration, yeah.
Congratulations to our local university. They do a
Yeah.
great job of recruiting internationally, and that's a testament to those universities. We have board members from, previous board members from both colleges represented here
Yeah.
too. We get that rivalry going too.
We like everybody.
We like everybody. All right, that's all I had. So,
good.
moving on, old business, anything bring forward? New business.
New business, I have a supplemental appropriation request of the sewer district. They need $1,000 into their principal line for New Regal and $1,000 into their line for the Bascom note principal payment for the USDA. The financials, I have a resolution authorizing the agreement Bridges Community Academy for food service on behalf of the Seneca County Sheriff's Office, retroactive to August 22nd, 2019. And I also have another resolution authorizing the agreement with ICP Pharmacy Services on behalf of the Seneca County Sheriff's Office, pending prosecutor's approval. The timeline was running short, so we asked if we could pass the resolution. Derek does have the contract, so pending his approval, this going through. So And those are all I have.
Move for approval.
Second. So,
Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Peterson?
yes.
Commissioner Kirschner?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas?
Yes. Okay. Stacy, what are these?
Those are the indigent paper.
They're just letters
Okay.
of accommodation and
Okay.
But they had,
Place the first
yeah,
meeting.
filed
Okay.
they filed
Okay.
to be indigent, and the judges determined that they're not, so we have to draft a letter saying that they need to pay.
All right. So we have an executive session.
Yep.
Does anybody have a public comment they want to make? Do we expect any action out of this?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. All right.
but there could be.
There could be.
You never know.
So we'll do some
Thanks.
public comments if anybody has something to offer now and depart. Okay.
We did, I will add one thing, I see Audrey reminds me, we talked about Christmas lights again, which is an ongoing subject, and Amy and Audrey from Economic Development have been very helpful with this. We're not gonna go with the full scale this year because time
Courthouse.
got to us and we just can't do it, but we are gonna do a little fundraising and try to make it look nice and go through stage one, when Audrey decides how much money she can raise. So, there will be some improvement, yes. Oh, no, I have to call her, I can't.
I apologize. Yeah, you should have.
Oh, I like the way you stood up to volunteer when you were asking for money.
Money.
That was awesome. Well played.
We will happily,
Sunny Farms,
we
lights.
will happily,
We have volunteers.
we will happily contribute to that worthwhile cause.
Document
Absolutely.
that.
It happened
All
here.
right, give me a call. I'm Ben Nutter with Sunny Farms Landfill, and I just wanted to let the commissioners know that we, last Friday, placed $600,000 into a fund that is going to be administered by a trust, but is in the control of the Community Improvement Corporation of Fostoria. So that money is real money that will go to help those area folks, and we hope some really cool stuff happens with that. And we also, I personally hand-delivered a check for $1,300,000 and some to the OSS K Rider this morning. So we're continuing to improve and, becoming we want to be the example.
Just coincidentally, $1 million, $1,300,000, that's about what we need for the lights.
It's a big check that felt heavy. I wanted one of those
It's just
checks that you get.
coincidence, that's all.
Yeah, that is pure coincidence. I wanted one of those big checks that you get, like a golf, Happy Gilmore, but
I saw that letter. How, in the scheme of a year, what does that represent? $1,300,000?
For OSS,
Yes.
it's about the budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a,
Through an audit
and
plan or something.
we've figured out,
Audit.
how to ensure that the OSS has a significant amount of funding moving forward, and we don't have arguments about who owes what to who. We've smoothed that out, so I think that's a great thing
Yeah, go for
for the OSS. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So we continue your diligence on keeping things under control out there. Send that to management that we're happy
I will.
with the efforts and
And you've taken Kathy to lunch at least once or twice now? The new, is it her name?
I think so.
Oh, the new OSS.
OSS, yeah.
I have not. I have not had the pleasure yet. I was there and she wasn't there.
Okay.
So yeah,
I
she
don't think she starts till the 9th.
starts on the
I
9th.
think the 9th.
starts on the 9th.
I think the 9th.
Yeah, September
Oh, so you
9th.
start till 9?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
and then you have, I think,
Okay.
your first meeting that she'll have is October 2nd for the OSS.
Sounds right.
That could be.
Yeah. So.
I'm glad you know, Becky, because we don't.
Yeah.
I just spread across it the other day again, yeah.
Yeah. So we did send out notification, and you saw it, that we're expanding our gas collection system. We moved the gas collection system expansion up a month due to as like everybody, the significant rainfall that we received in the spring. We knew that we were going to have to accelerate things, so we accelerated that by a month. We're in there now. We have the rig hopefully is there now, and we're gonna start, drilling wells to get, collect that gas. We also, and this isn't the official announcement, but we're going to get to the point where we have a reclaim plant at the landfill so that we don't flare that gas off. We pull that gas out, clean it up, and then use it, reuse it. So that's going to be a really cool project that's going to take place over the next couple of years. And I'm going to get with TSEP and VIDEC, and we're going to have a big announcement when we get that more planned. So
Perfect.
appreciate your time.
Sports trivia for you, Ben. 1985, who was the quarterback for Fremont St. Joe's?
We didn't play St. Joe.
Yeah, he played on the All-Star team. I can't remember his last name.
Did he? Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah.
This could be,
It's such an obscure question.
Yeah. Well, that's taking Shane and I back to our glory days. If you guys got some time, we could talk about that.
The older I get, the better I was.
There's no question. I'm not. Yeah. I don't know how I wasn't pro.
The NFL really missed out.
Okay, I'll accept a motion to go into executive session for pending litigation and
Property acquisition.
property acquisition.
So moved.
Second. Roll call.
Commissioner Paradiso?
yes.
Commissioner Kirchner?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas?
Yes.